Tesla stock has been dropping every single day since 2024, exception of one day, but it's been dropping while Nvidia is soaring, while Apple is going up, while everybody else is going up. Tesla keeps going lower and lower. And you know what? I had enough. I'm selling all my shares, and Tesla is not the next Tesla. That's it. I'm done with Tesla. Gonna go all into Nikola. Forget it. And that, my friends, is how everybody feels in the market who is a Tesla investor. It's getting frustrating out there, and I totally understand. But why is Tesla dropping and everyone else going up? And in this video, I'm going to address it and what you could do to benefit in the long term. So if you guys are ready, smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already, man. Let's go. So there's 5 main reasons why Tesla keeps going lower and lower and lower. And the first one is one that we're all familiar with, is the FUD news. You see, guys, mainstream media loves making FUD news on Tesla and Elon. Why? Because they get a lot of clicks. The more clicks they get, the more money they make, the more attraction they get, the more just overall benefit they get when they make all these FUD newses. Think about it, guys. When Tesla does a recall, which by the way, it's over the air update, so you don't have to take it to a dealership, not like they have a dealership. There's a lot of fuss in the market. There's a lot of fuss, news going and saying 2 million recalls. Oh my God, Teslas are bad. Elon is bad. But when Honda does a recall where you have to physically take the car to a dealership and service and probably leave it there for a couple days for it to be fixed, zero. Nothing. And Sonny Monroe addressed this very well on why this is the case, why there's a lot of news, attack on Tesla, attack on Elon, because there's no advertisement. Tesla doesn't advertise, zero. If you don't advertise, well then they're not benefiting from you. So they'll do the next best thing and say a lot of bad things about you, which was happening exactly with Tesla.
Let's ask a question here, Ricky. Why does the media hate Tesla and Elon Musk? How much does Elon Musk spend on the media?
Advertising? Yeah.
Nothing. And if you don't give them a bribe, you don't get any good press. Why do you think that the dealerships are never thrown under the bus? Watch your TV tonight. Look at how many times you see a dealership ad or whatever, and how many times you see something about, well, those dealerships are really crap. You'll never see it.
Now, this reason isn't the biggest one, but it does impact it a little bit. Moving on to number 2 is a fundamental reason, is that Q4 earnings may not be the bottom for the operating margin. And that is a big, that's not good. That would mean that Q1 or Q2 is more likely to be the bottom. That means there's more operating margins, percentages going lower and lower. But however, though, we did do a calculation on this on what Q4 could be. My final numbers and estimate is not out yet, but you guys can check out my rough draft. And although we are not bottoming yet, Tesla's making more money than in Q3 because of the other parts of the business, like energy, as well as there is probably profit taking and people are buying Nvidia stock because that thing is on fire right now. After all, Tesla did more than 2x in 2023. So I think there's a lot of profit taking going on, and when it's time for Tesla's turn, we'll see this happening with other stocks, people piling back to Tesla. The FOMO with Tesla when it starts to run up is so real, guys, and it should not be bet against. That's all I gotta say. So number 2 is Q4 earnings being priced in. Extremely short-term stuff, but that's what's happening. In my opinion, that's a big one in my opinion. For crying out loud, Wall Street brought their EPS down from 75 to 67 cents. So that is a big drop. Even though I think it's going to be a beat, that's a big drop. And that's, I think, slowly being priced into the stock. Number 3, interest rate cuts delay. For some reason, and I just heard about this recently, the market was expecting for the Fed to cut rates in January, like this month, because there were 6 cuts and January is one of them. But we're obviously not going to get that. We're probably not going to get a cut until halfway through this year, probably even closer to the 3rd quarter, maybe closer to the 4th quarter. But the interest rate delay is impacting Tesla stock because Elon has said many times, and we do see it, is that high interest rate environments, people don't tend to buy high purchase stuff like houses and cars. and we are seeing the data of that as well. So since interest rate hikes are going to be higher than longer, this is more likely, and the speculation in the market that Tesla's gonna do more price cuts, that is also being priced into the stock. As well as today we just got CPI report. It was higher than expected, so that's not good for the markets. That means this has more justification for the interest rates to stay higher longer, probably even hike them if it continues to go higher, and that's not good for Tesla. And again, more speculation and more likely that Tesla will need to cut prices. So that's also being baked into the stock. So sheesh moment, a bad sheesh moment, but that's what's happening. That's number 3. Number 4 is the one that I truly believe that it's no other segments of Tesla is being priced into the stock. Right now, the whole market is looking at Tesla as an auto company and just a little bit of an energy company. And yes, I understand Wall Street and institutions, they only look 6 to 12 months down the line. They're not looking at FSD, they're not looking at the BOT or anything like that. Forget the BOT, let's FSD. Energy and FSD, energy by itself is growing more than expected. It's growing extremely fast, and I think it's going to surprise in this quarter as well, but it's growing extremely fast. FSD, they're about to go into China and version 12 is coming out, and there's more people having that has access to it. That's going to bring more revenue and profits into Tesla. That's not being baked into the stock either. But here's the thing, guys, as soon as FSD is solved, it's going to be an insane moment. And honestly, if you're a long-term Tesla investor, you're not really caring about the autos right now. You're caring about the energy, the FSD, the AI, the bots, the things that are coming next. Once FSD is solved, guys, that triggers 3 different segments of Tesla to come alive. Obviously, FSD, once that's solved, every single Tesla on the planet will have access to it in their own country, respected, that they accept the software to be available in their country. 2, robotaxis. And the last one is licensing, which is absolutely massive. I've already made a video about this. You guys can check out here. So the opportunity is not autos. The opportunity is the other things that nobody is pricing in. And boy, oh boy, once they're priced in, these stock prices today, it's going to look like we would beg to buy more. That's all I got to say. Not financial advice, but that's all I got to say. And last but not least, number 5 is the guidance for Q4. Everyone is worried about this because if you guys recall in Q3 earnings, Elon was so doom and gloom, saying things like, we're going to in a bad time. We have to make sure that we have enough cash. We have to make sure we don't go bankrupt. 2008, thoughts, all that kind of stuff. He was very doom and gloom. And if he is going to be doom and gloom again for Q4 earnings guidance, I guarantee you guys the stock's going to be below 200. It's not going to be really, really good. It's going to be pretty bad. So investors are worried to see what he's going to say. Again, is he going to be doom and gloom, or is he going to be focused and talk about the next 1 to 3 years opportunity and all that kind of stuff? Personally, I do think in this quarter he's going to be more excited and more optimistic rather than being doom and gloom, but this is also being priced into the stock as well. So these 5 reasons are the main reasons, in my opinion, why the stock keeps going lower and lower. Now, what to do about it? You're stuck about, you're negative on your Tesla investment. You're looking at Nvidia stock and going like,
man, I wish I would have bought into that, man. I wish I did that.
Well, stop wishing, right? Tesla stock will have this moment and even more than Nvidia's in the future. Just gotta be patient, right? There's a time and place for these things. And as a long-term investor, I'm begging for the stock to go lower so I can buy more. But we'll talk about what I'm gonna do later. What could you do? What to do? Pejjy, man, I'm frustrated, man. What do I do? Well, listen, if you're a true long-term investor and this is a 20-30 investment, well then these prices are a gift. I would buy more, to be honest with you. I would just dollar cost average into it because I know one day it's gonna all pay off. Because I believe in Elon, I believe in Tesla, I believe in all the products that they do, I believe in all the things that they are doing, and I know they're gonna pull it off. So if you're a long-term investor, the best thing to do is forget the noise and just buy regularly dollar cost average into it. That is it. However, though, if you're a short-term investor and you thought buying in 2022, 2021, or even this year or 2023 or whatever, that you're gonna have a 10x return in the next year, well, first of all, you deserve for being down, because that is getting rich quick scheme, and that ain't like that. Tesla ain't like that. Tesla has been flat for majority of its years. 2014 to 2019, 2010 to 2013. These years, Tesla has been flat. But when it pops, boy, it pops. So again, if you're in it for the short term and you can't handle this volatility and you're looking at the stock price every single day, man, this is a headache for you. This is actually torture for you. And in my opinion, sell and move on. Buy an index fund, man. Don't stop chasing these stocks. Nvidia, you think Nvidia is always going to run up like this? Guess again, we'll come back in 2 to 3 years and see how that turned out to be. Right now, there's a lot of greed and optimism for that, just like how Tesla was in 2020 and 2021. Although it's a little bit different for Nvidia because they are doing buybacks. They are reinvesting back into the company. Well, Tesla is as well, but they're not doing buybacks. They're not having that support that it needs to continue to go higher. Tesla doesn't do any buybacks. So I guess there is a little bit more merit to Nvidia's uproar. But eventually it's going to be sideways for some time before it pops back up again, or maybe it'll come back down because it runs up so much. Stock market in the short term is a voting machine, and the long term it's a weighing machine. And Tesla is going to be one big fat dumbbell. That's all I got to say. So again, if you're short term and you can't handle it, sell on and move on. But if you're a long term investor, man, as well as I am, what I'm going to be doing, and probably what you guys are doing too, is licking your lips and starting to plan on how you want to buy more shares. So that's what I'll be doing, because I know for the long term, 2030, that's at least like whenever I buy Tesla shares, it's locked in. I can't access the account. Because that's the only way you can grow your money, man. Otherwise, your emotion's going to get into it, and you're going to pull everything out, and then the next year is going to roar up, and you're going to go like, what the heck did I just do? And you're going to be pissed off like Woojack, right? So that's why I trust the process. I'm staying with the course, and when there's a buying opportunity, I'm just going to buy more. It's simple as that. Now, what would the stock price, what's a good idea of the stock price to be in 2030? You guys can check out my revised 2030 stock price prediction. Until then, I don't believe the bot is there, or even the robotaxi, or even the other stuff. So it's really conservative. So if all those numbers happen, it's going to be a sheesh moment. Obviously not financial advice. Take everything with a grain of salt. And guys, get your I Bought the Dip t-shirt or your sheesh shirt if y'all want to support this channel. And subscribe for more, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.